Hey lads, Fish here. So, a lot of things in life are invisible. Oxygen, my will to live, my parents. But anyway, SCP-966 is also invisible. And it's an SCP that's not in SL right now. So, here's how I did it. Look, it's like my fucking third one of these videos, you know the gist by now, let's just fucking get to it. So, brief rundown on SCP-966. They're invisible predators that hunt prey by depriving them of sleep until they're so exhausted they can't move, at which point they consume them. Something to note that SCP-966 instances are actually pretty weak, this being the reason they only consume prey once they literally can't move. So that's the basic rundown. It's a pretty simple SCP, but that doesn't stop me from interestifying it. I've got a couple ideas for how 966 could be added, so enough preamble, let's get into it. 1. Make him a playable SCP. Okay, so my first idea is a concept for 966 as a playable SCP. 966 would have a measly health bar of 1000 HP, with 150 human shield, with the caveat being, well, fucking invisible, making him incredibly hard to shoot unless you're like fucking Spider-Man. This invisibility will only be active when 966 is not attacking, meaning they will be visible for a second when they do. This means it's not impossible to get a shot on them, because being able to fight back is fairly important, I'd say, but that might be a hard take, I don't know. 966's M1 is a dinky little swipe, doing a base 5 damage, which, as you probably expertly determined, is not a massive amount of damage. But that is where their special ability comes in. Their special ability, named Insomniac, allows 966 to put a mark on an individual target, slowly draining them of their energy, filling up a special resource, which I'm just going to refer to as the EP bar, because I can't figure out a better name, sue me. The target with the mark on them suffers from a movement speed debuff and a fog effect around the screen, similar to 939's amnesia effect without the, amnesia. This worsens over the course of around 15 seconds until they're moving like me after 7 minutes in heaven with Hubert. 7 minutes in heaven with Hubert. Try to say that fucking 3 times in a row. 966's abilities will scale with how much their EP bar is filled. Their M1 becomes an actual attack, doing 20 damage per swipe, and with an attack speed similar to 3114's, this will shred faster than I shred my tax form. 966's M2 would be a bite that requires your EP bar to be full and has to be used on a target who has a mark on them. This ability makes you give the target a little nibble, doing 10 damage and draining your EP bar. On a second bite, the target instantly dies, spawning another 966 instance after a few seconds, or longer if there's no spectators available. Now, this ability has like no root in the original article, but I don't know, it's bitch mutated or something, what do you want me to tell you? Immaculate conception and shit. Now, on paper, this may just seem like an 0 for 9 clone without the sexiness, but 966 is supposed to encourage a stalker gameplay style, having to stay with a target for a while to get the most use out of your kit. Now, I will say, I can see this gameplay loop being kind of hit or miss, see, because it's very common for people to group together, and that kind of lessens the whole stalker gameplay style thing, but even if that is the case, I do think fucking with a big group of people would still be fun, with them just shooting all over the fucking place like they're trying to find the guy who had the snake minigame. He's right there, fellas.
Hello, I am Hubert. I am a game developer for Secret Lab.
And I could see the M2 being hard to pull off because people have a tendency to become deceased in this game. I'm not really sure what that's about, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I mean, you're making another SCP who can then make other new SCPs. This shouldn't be handed out like candy from a white van. And that's basically it. I know some people may be against the idea of another M1 SCP, but I don't think there's much reason to complicate the basic functions of SCPs. And I think this concept is unique enough without making his main attack like a fucking Gatling arm or some shit. Although that would be fucking sick. Maybe that'll be the next fucking concept, who knows. Well, with that out the way, let's make like every company nowadays and put some AI in that bitch. 2. Make 966 an environmental hazard. So instead of 966 being a playable SCP, I can see them working well as an environmental hazard. Basically, it's mostly the same as how they appear in SCP Containment Breach, where they'll spawn in their containment chamber and make their way through the facility. The amounts will scale the player count of the server, not spawning any if there's less than 8. I would limit them to only being in heavy and entrance zone because light is already like really bad. I'm sorry, that's the best we can come up with. Really bad. What is this shit? Who's writing this? Hey, dickhead. Sorry, you talking to me? Yeah, I'm fucking talking to you. What the fuck was that joke, man? We used to have standards? Can you just fuck off and get on with the video? I have to finish the script. Oh, yeah, real busy, I'm sure. How long did it take you to write 3 fucking pages of the script, huh? Spend too much time on fucking Roblox to adopt me? You don't even have to do the fucking hard work. You're just a fucking voice in a YouTube video, dickhead. Oh, whatever. Fucking die. Sorry about that. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Like Containment Zone fucking sucks. And it will only get worse if we throw the invisible cuts down there. And Entrance Zone is lacking in, like, anything interesting, so it needs something. These instances would be able to be killed, having around 500 health per one. Any dead instances respawn in the chamber 5 to 10 minutes after their death. Otherwise, they'd probably be gone after like the first wave of MTF. They just idle around, walking randomly around the facility until they get close to a human, where they'll give them a little slap, doing 20 damage. The only way you'll be able to know that instances are there is their little grunting sounds they make, like they're asking you if it's in yet. If you spend a prolonged time in the same room as them, you'll get the same fog effect from the first concept. Whoa, callbacks, fucking hell, the guy who writes this script must be a fucking genius. Okay, dude, you gotta make up your fucking mind. Anyhoodle, These two things should make it so 966 is completely undetectable, but still can give you a good old fight when they make themselves known. And that's basically it. It's a lot more simple than the first, but SL was in more need of hazards to spice up chases and general gameplay, so this works for me. And this is the third idea. Miss, this isn't an actual option, what the fuck, man? But if we're adding the invisible fellas, we might as well add a way to see him more directly. Boom, night vision goggles. I don't have to explain to you what night vision goggles are. Big green flash 12/6 going dark. But these would spawn in multiple places around the site, including 966's chamber. Maybe put like a guy whose eyes ripped out or something next to them to explain what they are. That's like fucking edgy and cool as shit. I was considering if Captain should spawn one of them, but I think that would put too many into a game. Especially if we go with the playable SCP concept, because making the invisible guy too visible would just make him a bit pathetic. To go along with the new night vision goggles, I'd also add a new blackout mini event that can happen every so often. One, just to add some atmosphere to the game, having to shamble around in the dark for a couple minutes. And to add more use to the goggles, so they're just for 966. And that's about it. I think 966 overall would be an interesting addition to the game, adding some chaos, which is what SL5's on in my opinion. I could see plenty of good moments coming from its addition. But that's basically all from me. If you made it this far in the video, you probably enjoyed it somewhat, so why not like, subscribe? Please, please, please. Hubert told me if I don't get 50 likes in this video, he'll delay 50.0. This is real! You have to like!
Wait, guys, stop! I'm Spider-Man!